Okay, somehow the advancements that we have in technology continue to surprise me what feels like every year. But as you may have noticed, as soon as something comes out, that doesn't mean it's going to be immediately popular. A good example of this is something like augmented or virtual reality. AR or augmented reality is where graphics are placed in your environment. This is traditionally done in a way that's additive or interactive, and generally works by having a camera facing the space that you're in. VR or virtual reality is completely computer generated. It's generally three-dimensional and something that you interact with using a headset and controllers. At least right now it is anyway. As you may know, Meta, formerly Facebook, has invested heavily into virtual reality and has actually pivoted to the point where the entire company is somewhat centered around it. And while some may consider this to be to their detriment, I think that it's a pretty large indicator of the future development in this space, some of which is likely to even come this year. A big part of this has to do with the actual amount of headsets or users that are in the space now. This past holiday season, Meta sold a large amount of the Quest 2 headset, and this is only adding to the millions of headsets that are out there already. A growing user base means that there's going to be more development as more people accept virtual reality as something to invest in. In addition to this, it's rumored that Apple is going to be introducing their own headset, which would mean that other companies would likely follow, as Apple generally has that kind of effect on the industry. And if you want to see more videos about this in the future, make sure you subscribe, that way you don't miss them. Outside of just hardware developments, the actual use of augmented reality has definitely increased in this short time span. A lot of retail sites will have you either try something on like glasses or see how a furniture piece fits in your space. On top of this, there's a lot of filters and things that are used on social media which can add effects to people, pets, and spaces, and these are all things that are done with augmented reality, showing that from the software side there's actually been a lot of increased usage of this. So with an increasing adoption of this technology from a hardware and software perspective, I think that in 2023 we're going to see a lot of development as companies want to get in on the growth of the industry. AI or artificial intelligence is a sector that saw a huge amount of growth in 2022. A lot of this being related to the public release of DALL-E 2. In this context, it was used mainly for generating images from a text-only prompt. This was a really easy way for a large amount of people to interface with AI with relatively no barrier to entry. And AI goes way beyond just making pictures. But I do think that this is an effective way to demonstrate its capabilities. With this in mind, I can only imagine that there's been increased investment into the various projects that come from the companies that are working really hard in this area. I actually made a video on this not too long ago, so feel free to check it out if you're interested in what that's all about. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, there's even deeper levels to it that have even more potential. And with the upcoming year, I'm thinking that more and more companies will want to take advantage of this. When it comes to social media, a lot of platforms have copied each other enough to where you can get most of the same features on almost any platform, to the point where something like BeReal is quite a switch up for the industry. And while I don't think this is a feature that other platforms are going to copy, I think it shows that people are still interested in having new features or approaches to social media platforms. So in 2023, companies are definitely still going to be looking for that next big feature to drive growth on their platform and stay competitive. But what is probably even more likely is that they'll wait until somebody else does it, see if it's popular, and then copy it. So that's what I think we'll be seeing in 2023. But I want to know if you think so too. Make sure you let me know with a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.